Representing the giants of Africa, the Nigerian nightmare Kamaru Usman is dominant and the most well-rounded welterweight on the planet. Nobody can stop him. What's crazy about this guy is his attack mode in the octagon. He watches your moves, masters your rhythm, and plays multiple scenarios of your attack in his head till you're nothing but a puppet in front of him. And then, he counters and strikes you hard till you get knocked out. But before becoming a top-tier competitor in the UFC, Kamaru was just an ordinary kid with big dreams. He's the first UFC welterweight champion from his country, and his story has paved the way for many more talented Nigerians like him. Join us as we look at the story of Kamaru Usman, his rise to the top, and how much he earns for effortlessly pounding and smashing his opponents in every fight. So sit back, relax, and grab your popcorn, because this video is going to be thrilling. Kamaru Usman was born in Beneil, Nigeria on the 11th of May 1987. He grew up in Nigeria where his dad was a military officer and his mum was a teacher. Growing up in Nigeria was tough for the family, and Kamaru hadn't picked up any interest in wrestling or mixed martial arts. His dad became a pharmacist in the US and decided to move his whole family to Dallas, Texas. Kamaru was 8 years old when he got to the US, and in his sophomore year in high school, he began folk-style wrestling. Kamaru was really good at wrestling. He ended his high school wrestling career with a 53-3 record, and he also finished third in the Texas State Championship. Man, he was good. And his skills didn't just end in high school. He went to college and continued to dominate the wrestling division there. Kamaru attended William Penn University for a year before leaving for the University of Nebraska, UNK, at Kearney. Going to UNK made Kamaru realise how good he was at wrestling. He helped the wrestling team at UNK claim their first ever team title back in 2008. It felt like wrestling was too easy for this guy. He kept leaving his footprints even in the NCAA division. He was the NCAA's second champion for the 174-pound competition in 2010, leaving behind a record of 44-1 and 30 straight victories. He was the talk of the town, and he knew he had the skills to fight, so he decided to try out for the Olympics. No doubt he was close to making the Olympics, but Kamaru had a lot of injury problems at the time, and he just got dropped from the team. He also failed to make the 2012 Olympic trials, so there's no saying he deserved to go for the Olympics. Like they always say, behind every dark cloud is a silver lining, and for Kamaru, failing the Olympic trials was the dark cloud. But the silver lining in his story is him getting into MMA thereafter. In 2011, Kamaru served as a wrestling coach for Team Miller in the reality TV series The Ultimate Fighter. You can tell he enjoyed the experience, because a year later he started his professional career in MMA. It was a new experience for Kamaru from the way he fought, but soon enough he was pounding through his opponents just like he used to during his freestyle wrestling days. He started his MMA career with a 5-1 record and decided to try out for the Ultimate Fighter 21 tournament in 2015. Again, he started slowly during the tournament, but before anyone could wrap their heads around who Kamaru was, he began taking out his opponents like a grim reaper in the middle of the night. The feeling was like, who is this guy and where's he come from? Everyone was looking out for Kamaru, and he didn't disappoint their expectations. For you to fully understand the hype that was around Kamaru, former National League player Christian Okoye, who had the nickname the Nigerian Nightmare, was so intrigued by how talented Kamaru Usman was. He loved this guy so much that he gave Kamaru the right to use his trademark nickname, the Nigerian Nightmare, as his own. That's such love. Kamaru got to the quarterfinals of Ultimate Fighter 21 and defeated 3 veteran UFC fighters to win the tournament. I can't deny it, it was impressive for someone who'd never fought in the UFC to pull off such a massive victory. I can't say it was easy for him either, but he just knew how to bring his A game for every fight. Winning the tournament secured him a beautiful 6-figure contract at the UFC and Performance of the Night award for his fight in the finals. 6 figures. Kamaru Usman is definitely living the life on the fast lane. We'll get to his net worth and earnings a bit later. For now, scroll down, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss on any of our awesome videos. Now where were we? Oh yeah, Kamaru's debut at the UFC. If you thought this man was going to flop at the UFC, you thought wrong. Kamaru displayed true power in his match against Leon Edmonds on his debut at UFC in 2015. He landed big blows to the body of Edward, ending up winning the fight by unanimous decision after all 3 rounds had been fought. This set him up for victory against Alexander Yakovlev and Warlley Alves, making Kamaru undefeated in the UFC. Kamaru was on a winning streak, but what made him so unique was his fighting style. This guy could give 4, 5 or even 6 straight punches at a go to his opponent without a flinch. To put the cherry on top, he faced Sergio Moraes in 2017 and one punch KO'd him in the first round. That punch sent Sergio doing a front roll on the mat, giving the victory to Kamaru. In 2019, Kamaru Usman was still undefeated. This level of success brought a new era in his UFC career. Being in the welterweight division on a 9-fight win streak, Kamaru decided to go for the championship at UFC 235. He was to face the title holder, Tyron Woodley. Now here's the deal, I'm a huge fan of Tyron Woodley, but that night he simply didn't meet any expectations. They went all 5 rounds, but it was pretty obvious Tyron had lost the fight from the first round. Don't get me wrong, Woodley actually fought hard, but Kamaru gave huge strikes, uppercuts and a couple of power slams that Tyron just couldn't reciprocate. Kamaru won by unanimous decision and became the UFC welterweight champion, the first from Nigeria. He was finally at the top, and it was all going well until Colby Covington came into the picture. This was big. Probably the biggest fight for Kamaru because Colby Covington is another lethal fighter in the UFC. If you want to know more about Colby Covington, you should check out our channel for the video on his story, salary and net worth right after this one. The tension between these two was high. Colby had trash-talked Kamaru to the extent that the billing for this fight suggested how awesome it was going to be. To put it plainly, it was like the clash of champions, pure slugfest. Colby had his face all covered in blood, but he still tried to keep his 2 feet on the ground. Kamaru knocked out Colby in the 5th round via TKO to defend his title. This fight was so spectacular, it earned both figures the Fight of the Night award. Kamaru Usman's name was becoming more and more dominant until it was time for him to face one of UFC's favourite fighters, Jorge Masvidal, in 2020. This fight made a record by generating 1.3 million pay-per-view buys in the US, the highest since UFC 229 in 2018. Kamaru utilised the clinch and ended up with the victory by unanimous decision. Once at the top, everyone would want to pull you down. That was the exact situation of Kamaru Usman. He was slated to fight Gilbert Burns for his 3rd title defence, which he defended pretty well. He claimed the victory in the 3rd round by TKO. This made Kamaru hold the record for the most win streak in the UFC welterweight division at 13 victories. His 4th title defence was a rematch against Jorge Masvidal, but the Nigerian nightmare just kept getting better. Kamaru became the first fighter in the UFC to knock down Jorge Masvidal. He beat Masvidal in the 2nd round by continuously clobbering his face until Masvidal got knocked out. His 5th defence came back in November when he faced old-time rival Colby Covington for the 2nd time. It was the same old story with Kamaru coming out of the UFC welterweight champion. He defeated Colby Covington via unanimous decision in the 5th round. So how much does he earn for being this phenomenal? Before we get to that, if you're new to our channel, make sure to comment I subbed in the comments section down below and stand a chance to win from our new subscribers giveaway package. Come on, what are you waiting for? Go comment I sub now. With a record of 20-1, Kamaru Usman has made a lot of money from being the best. He earned about $100,000 in his first UFC match, combined with his salary from the Ultimate Fighter tournament victory. Kamaru has earned as high as 7 figures in a single fight. His biggest payouts were against Tyron Woodley, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal and Gilbert Burns, earning over $1 million in each of those matches. As it stands, Kamaru has a combined net worth of about $6.5 million with endorsement deals in Reebok and Trifecta. He enjoys his fortune with his beautiful girlfriend and their daughter named Samira. Kamaru is a great fighter, but the underlying question is, can anyone stop him? Only time will tell. Thanks for sticking with us till the end, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.